My name is Baba and Mwalimu Baruti. I am a husband, father, teacher, author, and African warrior scholar. Today, I'm going to take a few moments to share with you a brief synopsis on the content of one of my books. Negroes and Other Essays was the first book I wrote. It is a collection of essays which at the time was designed to speak to everyday people in the community as well as college students. And it began because I was asked to do the inaugural speech for the SGA president at Morehouse College, and I was still a faculty there, but I wasn't teaching any classes at that time. So I came and I did a lecture, I did a speech on Negroes, what they were and how they worked against us, etc., etc. And when it was over, a young man who was a freshman, he came to me and he said, I hate to ask a dumb question. He said, but what's a Negro? And it registered at the time. Most of the people who I was talking to had never been in one of my classes, so they really didn't know what I was talking about. So I sat down to write a collection of essays that pulled the most thought-provoking discussions from the classes that I had with the students at Morehouse College. If I can go over some of these essays real quick. The New Humanity talks about the idea that Europeans are creating a new world, a just world, a world that includes everybody, and that at its base is a lie. Shackles talks about our enslavement as well as our incarceration and how this affects our mind. The Cultural Continuum, it was one of my favorite lectures at Morehouse, where it talked about traditional European culture, because what we think and what we see in the movies and on TV is nothing like what they lived. Black Capital talks about the state of the black economy. It talks about the difference between income and wealth and how much we have. It's very much a comparative essay, which is really based on my dissertation, where I was comparing black and white incomes over a 30-year period, and I also looked at wealth at that time, so that's kind of compressed into that essay. Racism, colorism, and power, of course, that has to do with the colorism, the shadeism that we exercise against each other based upon the amount of melanin that we have, the amount of visible melanin that we have in our skin in service to Europeans. Negroes, of course, that's the essay. That's explaining what Negroes are and are not to us. I Am Not Ashamed is a essay of pride for warriors, and there are a lot of quotes and proverbs in that from people who work for us, and dedicated to an African and voices in the tradition of an African warrior. All of those are essays that are geared toward positive warriorhood for our men and our women. I hope that you have found this video interesting, informative, and insightful. If you want to purchase this book, please click on the Add to Cart button. Your purchase helps inspire me to continue writing books for the education of our people and to develop a new generation of African warrior scholars in our African-centered school, the Ankabet Institute. Thank you for your time. Abibi Fahodie.